All right. Well, we're at game week and really excited about game number 9 coming up this weekend. Heading up to Rice Eccles up there in Salt Lake City. Looking forward to the matchup. Thought we had a really productive bye week last week, and really proud of the guys the way they attacked that week. Had some really good practices in there, and got a lot of work done. So now with our focus being on our opponent, we got an early start last week, but we've been able to. Now that it's within the week, it's an exciting time for us to get ready for this game, and looking forward to the matchup, and exciting that the rivalry's back. So with that being said, I'll answer any questions you guys want to ask. What do you got?
Thanks, Coach. We'll start with Jared Lloyd and then John Kuhn.
What's it like for you to walk into Rice Eccles Stadium with BYU, having played there, having coached there? What are those moments like when you walk onto that field?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean, there's obviously had a lot of memories there as a player and as a coach, and now as the head coach of BYU. So it's going to be. I mean, personally, I probably have a different perspective than a lot of other people, but when it's all said and done, it becomes a game. Once the ball is kicked off and we're able to start the game clock. I think it all gets back to game moment and game mode, and I'm excited to see our players take the field. I'm not playing, which is a relief for me right now, but just excited to see these young men compete on both sides, and really looking forward to this matchup. It's an exciting time for our guys.
How hard is it to recover when your team's going through a rough patch? Utah's done that. You've been through it as a coach before. How hard is it to kind of right the ship and get things back the direction you want to go?
Well, I think that's just part of the game. I mean, you look at the situation that's happening in college football, that especially when you get towards the end in November, becomes a test on how you're going to finish. So I think everyone's been there. Coach Witt's been here before, so he'll have those guys ready to roll, and I got to make sure that our guys are ready to roll. I'm not. If you watched over the weekend, you can't bank on anything. College football is unpredictable. There's a lot of parity in this conference. We've said that from the very beginning. So it definitely has our attention. If not before, now it does over the weekend. So this is an exciting time. I've said it before for our players. And, just looking forward to the game. Really looking forward to this prep, to the work that we can get done today and this week. And I'm excited that the game is right around the corner.
Go ahead, John.
Kalani, talking to Kyle Whittingham earlier this morning, he mentioned how you'd be hard-pressed to find another team outside of BYU that's playing complementary football better than what the Cougars are doing at the moment. What's kind of key to your ability as a team to play complementary football so well, to have all three phases clicking the way they have the last few weeks?
Yeah, I think it's going really nicely. I think I have to give a lot of credit to the players themselves, and understanding the complementary part of football, and buying into the stuff that our coaches have taught them. You have to buy into your 1/11th. That really has to happen. The complementary football goes from all three phases: offense, defense, and special teams. But it definitely goes on your own phase. If you're on defense, doing your 1/11th so that you can have success, and then maximizing the opportunities that come your way if it's for you to make the big play. But in order for that to happen, everyone's got to do their part and buy into what's happening. And part of that is learning and knowing exactly what everybody else is doing. I think that takes some time. I think our guys are doing a great job at it. Have we played perfect? No. Can we play better? Yes. And I'd like to see that happen this weekend. I mean, I thought last week was a really good week of prep for us, and I think there's a lot of room for improvement. There's a lot of things that we can fix, and like to see us. I mean, like I said, last week was a good jump start for it. I'd like to see us continue the momentum that we have from last week to this week in the prep against Utah.
Thanks, John. We'll take our next questions from Jay Drew and then Jake Hatch.
Kalani, with I think 9 of your 11 defensive starters are from Utah, not as many on offense, but quite a few. But with the out-of-state kids, do you have to coach them at all on the rivalry, talk to them about it, the history, or do you just kind of let the players take care of that?
No, I think that's part of I mean, we're all about love and learn, and part of learning is educating them on what this game means. But also, you want to keep it to them just doing their job. The new players that are here, since they stepped on campus, I think the fans themselves have already educated our players on how important this game is. But for us as a coaching staff, we have to get back to the basics, and it doesn't really matter who's on the other side. We've got to. There's a lot of things that we can do differently and do better as a team first before we can start really worrying about the drama and the emotions that go into the game. I think playing with a lot of passion is going to be a test of this, if you guys love football or not. And I like even the newcomers to the team that don't know a lot about this rivalry. I think they care a lot about their fans. They care about their teammates, and they know that this game's important. So just like every game's happened, and I like their approach so far. So we'll keep working how we've been the entire season.
And then, do you expect to get a couple guys back this week? Cody Epps, I think you said, was getting close. I don't know about Connor Pay. I can't imagine he'd be back. But what is the health of your team going into the rivalry game?
Those two specifically, doubtful. I mean, I think there's a responsibility from our end to decide if we're putting them at risk or not. And I really believe that we got to be careful. I mean, last week we got a good look at him, and we're not. It's not comfortable enough for us to say that those two will be ready. If you're asking about the rest of the entire team, I think the rest of the guys seem good, seem ready. We're excited, man. I think looking at LJ from the UCF game, he's going to be 100%. So we feel good, other than those two guys and some others that have been hurt for some time. But we're feeling good about going into this game with the health of our team.
Go ahead, Jake.
Kalani, Kyle refused to name a starting quarterback, so it would be a two-way battle, it appears, all the way up to game time. How do you go about preparing for both Brandon Rose and Isaac Wilson?
We've got to prepare for anything that they can throw at us. I mean, they've had an extra week, so there's a lot of different things that we have to probably over-prepare for, but that's okay. I'd rather be that way than – I mean, we have to take a look at all the quarterbacks that are on the roster and be ready for them. And I think Jay's got a good start on that, and I don't think he can give Utah a lot of hard time about it. They're trying to figure out. We've been there before, trying to figure out who'll be the best guy to earn the spot, and we just have to prepare for all those guys, and that's part of that is just us being assignment sound and not worrying about who's behind center. But I don't think it's for us. We have to really worry too much about that. They're very capable players, and they have a lot of talent on their team, and so they have our respect. We see it on film. We see the talent and the toughness that they bring. So we just have to be ready for all of it in every phase.
Metrics-wise, they're one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the league. What are your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, we just got to play ball, man. I don't think you can. You can't sit there and just predict what's going to happen. I think you got to play your best, and then you live with the results. So you got to prepare for your best, and that's what we're focusing on. We've seen on film. We know they're a talented team. We've been through this many times before, especially during this year. So we're expecting our guys to play better. That's what we need to do, and then we have to bring a lot of energy and a lot of effort to the field, and then we'll just see what happens after the first ball snapped.
We'll take our next questions from Mitch Harper and then Jared Lloyd.
Kalani, why do you believe this series tends to always produce four-quarter games that are typically pretty close?
A lot of emotions and a lot of there's a lot of parity in between the teams, and it doesn't really matter a lot of the records. I think there's a lot of pride that goes into both sides and tradition, and so we're gonna get their best effort. I've said this over and over again every week, and it's more definite now than ever before that we will get their best effort and their best shot, and we need to make sure that they get ours as well. And if we can get that done, and who knows what's going to happen, but we have to prepare for everything, man. It's a fun game to be a part of, and I'm glad that it's back, and want our guys to enjoy every second of it.
it's hard to get nitpicky with a undefeated record, but is there an area or two that you want to see improvement in the final month of the regular season?
Nitpicky is what we've been doing this whole time, the entire year. So these guys are used to us correcting any of the concerns that we have or the mistakes that we've made in the last game, and they've done a great job at getting those, being focused on them and finding ways to make it better. And so just going from the last two games, if you look at how we went from Oklahoma State to the UCF game, I thought the guys did a great job in preparing and correcting a lot of the issues that we had from that game, the seventh game to the eighth. I'd like to see us make the jump now from the eighth game to the ninth and correct a lot of the issues. So we've been nitpicking the entire time. That's what we have to do. But in terms of correcting the mistakes, we also have to combine that with praising the good things that we're seeing from our players, and keep the momentum going and encouraging them that all these things matter. And sometimes it's just focusing on the small and simple things, and that's what we've been doing the entire year. It's worked so far, and we are doing the same thing this week, and there's no change.
You were talking about the emotion and passion that comes with the rivalry game. Is it important to make sure the guys channel that and just instruct it? Because sometimes we've seen it before where guys lose their heads a little bit because of that energy and stuff. It's important to make sure that they're locked in. This team's been pretty good at that, but this is a little different scenario.
It's not a different scenario. It's the same scenario every week. So I think everybody's making it a big deal. But when football starts, it really just becomes the game, and we're focused on playing the game. Not focused on anything other than the preparation for the game, going into it. And these guys, I have a good group of leaders on our team. They do a great job at reminding each other what needs to take place and what the things that we need to correct. And I've been really pleased with the way the leaders have taken ownership in the whole program. And so I'm going to lean on them heavily again. I'm going to meet with them again. We meet every week and see what their thoughts are, and get a good feel from the team from their perspective, and then allow them to go out and lead and continue what they've been doing the entire time. And sometimes the best thing I can do as a head coach is step out of the way and let the boys handle it. And they've done a great job so far. And we've gone into hostile environments before, and this is going to be another one. So I think the guys are up for the challenge. They're excited for it. They should be. And it's a great opportunity for us to go play the game and just keep it that the game is the game.
I also wanted to ask, how would you describe Kyle Whittingham to someone who's never met him?
Oh, man. Great mentor, great friend, and a great competitor. He is a football guy, and he's tough, and he's holds his guys accountable. But there's a good side to him that I've seen, and I think everybody's seen that he cares about his players and he cares about his staff, and I've been a benefactor of that, and I've been able to be a close friend of his. And listen, he wants to win this game just as much as I do, but I'm honored to be his friend. And after we're done with the game, we'll go back to being friends again. But this is he's taught me to do this the right way. You need to make sure that you focus on the boys first. That's what he's doing, and that's what I'm trying to do as head coach.
Thanks. We'll take our last questions from Jake Hatch.
Kalani, kind of going off of that, the connection between these two staffs, you've got Gary Anderson working with you, Jay, Aaron, he's got guys that the connection between these two staffs are unique. How much does that tie into this game in your mind?
Yeah, that's very common. It's not an uncommon thing in this rivalry to have a lot of crossover, and that's going to happen when you have guys that come from the same coaching tree, and our connection to Kyle Whittingham and his connection to Levi Edwards and the connection to both programs. That's a very common theme. And so, but when it comes down to it, the players are the guys that are on the field making it happen. And this isn't about the coaches and the analysts and the assistants. We have a lot of guys that are very familiar with being up there in Salt Lake City, and the same thing goes for them. So they have BYU alumni on their staff too. So that's why this rivalry is so unique, And that's why when I mentioned before last week, I think we have a chance to do it different and do it better, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking to a very competitive game on Saturday with a lot of cheering and excitement and energy, and then I'm looking forward to after the game, regardless of the result, showing a high level of respect and love and appreciation for each other. So that's the goal.
I also wanted to ask about your quarterback. Is Jake doing what you expected him to do to this point in the season?
He's doing a great job, and is there room for improvement? Of course, but I'm really proud of the way that he's been able to get better every week, and the way that he's just embraced all the opportunities, whether it's a difficult circumstance or a favorable one. I've been really proud of the way Jake has been leading this team and playing the position. He's super humble, so he's always looking for an opportunity to get better, and I'm really proud of his leadership and just really honored to be his coach.
Thanks so much, Coach. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.